Hola a todos, bienvenidos. Today we have another episode in the series, Nicaragua, Best Places to Visit. This video will be my top 3 volcanoes to visit in Nicaragua.
Bye. Hi. That.
Soy Darlene, aka Darz, and on this channel you'll learn Spanish all about Nicaragua and life as our life as a bicultural family. I know I kind of changed away from this intro before and then maybe going back to it because it sounds like that's what you guys are all here for anyway, so if you're interested in this type of content, consider subscribing and let's get into the video. A few little fun facts about Volcan Masaya. It is very active. It has been erupting, blowing smoke, ashfall, and has gases constantly coming out of it. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I believe the most recent ashfall was October 15th of 2019, but it has had kind of regular stuff happening, I guess. Apparently, during the Spanish conquistador times, people actually attempted to extract the volcano's gold. It's lava. Masaya's nickname is the Gates of Hell, or aka Puerta al Infierno, because actually if you go up there and you look down, you'll actually see lava, I think it's 30 to 40 meters down, they say. And of course, you can't talk about the Masaya volcano without talking about Sam Cosman. I'll put a video link down in the description box. What, honey?
Papa?
Yep, there's Papa. And right here for you to look at of him actually going down into the volcano, but he went 1,200 feet down into the volcano, which the Eiffel Tower is 1,000 feet tall. He went into the earth 1,200 feet. And he installed over 80 sensors that could sense temperature, pressure, and the different gases in the air coming out of the volcano, because since the volcano is active and it could potentially destroy many thousands of lives if it were to have a terrible eruption, the thought is that those sensors will help detect if there's actually going to be an eruption or something that will be really bad and devastating. And by the way, I will also link other information, videos, websites down in the description box if you guys are interested in looking at tours to any of these places or want to check out the websites where I found my information. Down below. This volcano's elevation is about 2,000 feet or 635 meters. Location and how to get to Masaya volcano. Volcán Masaya está 30 minutos al sur de Managua, 20 kilometers or 13-ish miles. It's nothing crazy to get there. From Managua, you just take Carretera a Masaya. Arriving at Volcán Masaya, you will stop and pay your entrance fees, 100 cordobas for foreigners, 30 cordobas for native Nicaraguans, and that's during the day. If you want to go at night and see the lava glowing, it is actually $10 a person no matter your nationality. But if you take a tour from León, for example, that you pay, for the tour, they might include the price of the entrance fees in their tour price. Vas a manejar a little ways up and you'll come to a visitor center. You can check out all their information. It's kind of museum visitor center. They give you facts. There's a cool view from there. You can look at little mini volcanic sculptures and read about all the different volcanoes in Nicaragua, and they have bathrooms and such. Then you can drive all the way up to the very top of the volcano. There is no hiking necessary. Since this is a very active volcano, there's signs that say something like, don't stay too long, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm not sure exactly what it is, because of the sulfuric dioxide in the air, and that could be unhealthy for extended periods of time of breathing that in. As you're taking in the views, enjoying the sights and the fumes, if you're lucky, the wind will be going in the right direction and the fumes and the smoke won't be, well, honey, covering up the lava, but sometimes you can see the lava, sometimes you can't, depends on all the smoke and fumes. Before I ever went to the Masaya volcano, it's still there. Hay una escalera. There's probably hundreds of steps up to this peak. And there's actually a big cross up there, and you used to be able to climb up there. That was before I ever went to the volcano, but since it's been very active, it could be extremely dangerous. You can imagine the chaos if there were people up at the top of that peak and you had to climb down hundreds and hundreds of steps to get to your car to drive down the volcano. Not good. So they have since closed off that staircase. You can't go up there anymore. I'm sure there'd be epic views from way up there. And I've never been there at night personally, but creo que es más increíble to see, you know, the glow of the lava down there in the volcano. And either way, this is a great place to visit. There's no energy exertion required whatsoever if you want to go there, if you like that sort of thing. Oh yeah, by the way, one time we did try to go at night. It was a really great time to see the lava. And we waited in a car in a huge line for literal hours, like 2-3 hours, I think. And they closed before we got to the entrance, so we weren't able to actually go see it. Number 2, San Cristobal. Towering at 5,725 feet, 1,745 meters tall. San Cristobal is the largest in Nicaragua. Largest volcano, or should I say tallest. This actual peak is one part of 5 different volcanic structures all grouped together, but it's collectively called San Cristobal, but there's like one peak that's that tall, like, you know, you get it. So it is also one of the most active, and being that it's so large, one of the most dangerous. San Cristobal also had a recent ash fall happen. But this volcano does blow smoke and ash and cause regular terremotos. So how do you get there? It is a 3-hour and 20-minute drive northwest-ish of Managua. You would go from Managua to Chinandega and then go around. It's 154 kilometers or 95 miles. I'm not super familiar with the way to get there. Well, I'm not familiar at all because, except from looking at the map, because I've never been there myself. So what do you do there? You hike. It is such a big volcano and there's just no roads up there. You gotta hike up. Me and Tomas were about to go there once, cuando vivimos en Nicaragua, before he ever came to the US, but he ended up getting called into work, so we couldn't go. We do hope to go in the future though. Who wants to go? Comment down below. When I do go, I will for sure share the experience with you guys. It sounds like quite the challenge. It'd be a full day of hiking up and back down. Probably want to leave early morning, like 4 or 5 a.m. so that you can actually start hiking and not have to hike at midday when it's like super hot in Nicaragua. No vas a querer estar hiking on a volcano in the bare midday sunshine near the equator. Does that make sense? I would have put Ometepe Island, which is made up of 2 volcanoes, on this volcano video, but as I talked about it in my previous Nicaragua places to visit video, you can check it out here if you haven't seen it, I figured I would add new stuff to the volcano video. But comment below if San Cristobal sounds like right up your alley and you love a good hike, or if Messiah sounds more like you and you'd rather just drive to the top and enjoy the views. Personally, I really like the challenge and the satisfaction of having gone to the top and looking down and thinking, wow, I climbed all this way. But then again, I don't like super crazy challenging hikes, so San Cristobal is gonna be kind of a stretch for me. You know, I just don't want to feel like I'm dying the whole way up. Number 3, saving the best for last, of course, Cerro Negro. So some fun little facts for you. Cerro Negro actually translates into Black Hill, which is exactly what it looks like. It is Latin America's youngest volcano at 160 years old, little baby. And its claim to fame is that it's the only place in the world that you can go volcano boarding. Super fun because the volcano is 2,388 feet tall, or translated to 727 metros. Location, how to get there. It is a 2.5-hour drive northwest of Managua, 120 kilometers or 75 miles. You would drive from Managua to León, which is a pretty well-traveled route, and then León has a turnoff that you can drive down what feels like an endless dirt road, but it's actually only about an hour until you arrive. When we went volcano boarding, we took a tour out of León, so it took us an hour to get there, and I don't know the details on how to get there or whether even you're allowed to go there on your own or if you need to be in a tour, I don't know. So what do you do there? Just before the volcano, we stopped at the entrance. Depends on your tour, you might have the entrance fee paid in your tour price. And then we stopped and looked at some iguanas, which are an endangered species, I believe, in Nicaragua. Después fuimos al base of the volcano. We all grabbed a pack with a suit in it and a tablet board thing for sliding down the volcano. For our tour, at least, we were able to pay a person $5 to carry the board up the volcano for you, which I did. Again, I didn't feel like dying in the summer heat in the sunshine and having to haul that board up. They're kind of heavy. So it takes about an hour to hike up to the top in the glaring sun because there's absolutely nothing on this volcano. It's just black sand or volcanic rock, I guess. You gonna put your boot on? So once we all arrived at the top, the tour guide talked to us about there's this awesome 360-degree view. He told us what volcanoes you can see. You can see a whole chain of them. And if you like dig down in the sand, the dirt, sand, whatever that stuff is so hot because of the gases and fumes coming up from inside the earth. It was kind of weird because you'd expect from the sunshine that the top layer would be hottest and then underneath would be colder, but as you dig down, it actually gets hotter. Muy interesante. Then the part we were all waiting for. We put on our gear, we grabbed our boards, and we all took turns sliding down the volcano. And they actually had somebody about halfway down the volcano, recording speeds, like with a speed thingy-majiggy. And so there was kind of a contest of who could go the fastest, which I was definitely not the fastest. I was trying to be careful and like not go too fast. And you better keep your face and your eyes covered because that sand is just flying and going up in every crack and crevice in todo tu cuerpo. And of course, once everyone was down, we jumped back on the bus, headed back to León, and that was it. Super fun, little bit of exercise, adventure, sunshine, and a exhilarating ride down the volcano. Cerro Negro was the perfect in-between for me, like between Masaya where you just drive or San Cristobal where you hike and hike and hike and hike and hike, because there was a bit of a hike, it was a fun ride down instead of having to hike back down, and it wasn't too long or crazy of a hike. Gracias por ver, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did. Comment down below if you've ever been to any of these volcanoes. If you have, which one is your favorite? Or if you haven't, which sounds most interesting to you? Share this video with someone you think might enjoy it. Remember to check the links in the description box for more information in that. And I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe for more. Bye. Foresight, presight, happening, gonna happen, knowledge.
Hi. Hi.
San Cristobal also had an...
No. Agua?
Where's your agua?
Huh?
Right there, honey.
Mommy.
Anyway,
Mommy.
what, honey? You making messes?